On October the 1st, Richard Petty announced that 1992 would be his final season behind the wheel. Now, while some of you had the opportunity to see a small portion of his press conference on your local news, we thought you might like an insider's look at more comments from that historic day. Hosted by our own Dr. Jerry Punch.
He has captured 7 Winston Cup championships and won an unparalleled 7 Daytona 500s by STP. His 200 career victories make him the winningest driver in the history of Major League Motorsports. There is no doubt he is the undisputed king of stock car racing. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Petty.
Since 1967, I've been hearing retirement rumors, and so just like I said, I told y'all I'd get you all together and tell you exactly what I was going to do, when I was going to do. And I'm not retiring, okay? So you can start off with that. The deal is that it will be my last year next year, and it will be known as a Fan Appreciation Tour. That's going to be the name of the tour that we're going to do. It's not a farewell tour because I'm not going anywhere. It's a Fan Appreciation Tour. Without the fans, you all wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, STP, Pontiac, all our sponsors would not be here. So after 34 years, I figured that I can take the time, and all our sponsors can take the time to go to the fans or stay with the fans and say, look, we appreciate the 34, 35 years that you've been involved with racing, that, you know, we're saying thank you back to the fans. That's really what the whole situation is.
There were numerous dignitaries on hand to pay tribute to Richard Petty, including Bill France Jr., the President and Chief Executive Officer of NASCAR.
Richard Petty made his mark in the way he touched people, in the way that everyone who walked away from him felt he was their friend. A lot of you may have heard the story about Richard, about a kid who's hanging on the fence, yelling his name over and over, hoping he'd come over and say hello, maybe even sign an autograph. This small boy was at North Wilkesboro with his father and was standing outside the pit fence. He'd been looking for Richard, just hoping to see him for a while. When he finally did see him, he couldn't help himself. He started yelling Richard's name, trying to get his attention. Finally, Richard heard him, turned around and walked over to the little boy. He talked a few minutes with him and signed an autograph. That few minutes of time made an incredible impression on that boy. Richard Petty became his hero that day, an idol he would never forget. Several years later, that little boy, now grown, made Richard Petty part of his contract. That's the reason NBA All-Star Brad Daugherty wears number 43 when he plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. While we'll miss our friend Richard Petty, the driver who has truly earned the title, the king of stock car racing, we are very happy that our friend Richard Petty, the car owner, will be with us for many years to come. Richard, we wish you the best of luck the rest of this year and in your final season in 1992. When the 1993 season rolls around, we will miss you on the track, but we'll see you in the garage.
The Governor of North Carolina, the Honorable James G. Martin, had these comments.
We have a great deal of pride here in North Carolina about Richard Petty, about what he has meant to the sport, about what he's meant to our state and to our people. And we're here today to celebrate this man, to celebrate his skill, to celebrate his personal and professional integrity. I'll let you in a little secret. It's nice being governor, but I often wonder what it'd be like to be king, because that's what Richard has been in stock car racing. This king has seen a lot of governors come and go. You've given us a great ride over these years, these past 34 and the 35th to come. And I know race fans share some anxiety of the day that'll come when 43 will be parked. But what a ride you've given us. Like your father before you and like your family carrying on beyond. You've done so much for this sport to write the book on what it means to be a great champion. and a great American. And I say to you, God bless you and your family.
Yes, I probably feel like that I've sacrificed a lot. I think he was only around for one time when we had one child that was born. The rest of the time he was racing. He missed most all the graduations, the dance recitals, the music recitals. He missed it all. But even though he missed it, the kids, they loved him and they've supported him, and we're going to continue to support him. And the one thing that I probably get asked more than anything in the world, people come up to me and they say, "Don't you just worry about your husband?" And I said, I always tell them, I say, yes, I do. But my philosophy of life is that I'm just thankful that I've been a part of Richard Petty's life. And no matter what happens from this day on, I can look back with no regrets. And I'm just thankful for that.
In the second issue of NASCAR Video Magazine, our poll of top riders picked Richard Petty as the top stock car driver of all time. Here's our tribute to the King. When you stop and look at the Winston Cup record book, his numbers are staggering. Most career wins, 200. Most wins in a season, 27 in 1967. Most consecutive wins, 10 in 1967. 18 consecutive seasons with at least one win. Over 1,100 career starts. 7 Winston Cup championships. 7 Daytona 500 wins. No one even comes close to most of these numbers, and probably never will. Personally, I thought I knew something about driving until I raced against Richard Petty. Just being on the track with him showed me how much I had to learn before I could even call myself a race car driver. He just flat out blew my mind. But the story of his greatness goes beyond what he does on the racetrack. It's the man himself. He transcends the sport. Win or lose, he's always the same. There's that big smile, the love and respect he has for the fans, as well as the love they have for him. Man, you can feel it. He helped carry the sport from the small-town dirt tracks to the major league sport it has become today. In 5 different decades, he's been the driver all others have been measured against. There's no doubt in my mind, Richard Petty is the greatest stock car driver of all time. In 1992, as Richard Petty makes his fan appreciation tour, be sure to watch for a special edition dedicated to the King.